So what we're doing is a 15 horsepower, 4-stroke Mercury engine. Do some good tune-up stuff, change some oils. The first thing you want to do is pull your oil plug here. So you want to get the engine tilted up.
And the oil is gonna get out there? Ah! Whoa! Almost. That was strong, Mom. Good job.
You want to pull your drain plug, which is a 5/8 socket. Make sure and catch your oil and let it drip down. Now you're going to be raising and lowering your engine a bit to get the oil back into it. So they generally say we do this twice. So once we get it mostly emptied from draining it this way, what we're going to do is we're going to put this back in, finger tight. We'll drop the engine back down, and then we'll let the oil work its way back to the engine. So we'll give it probably a minute or two sitting there in that downward position. Then we'll bring it back up to where it is here again, pull the plug and drain the remaining oil. So once we get it just finger tight back in, drop the engine down. And again, let it sit for probably a good minute or two like this.
You already put it up? And then...
Yep, so we put it up. Again, just to make sure it doesn't spill out everywhere, I'll lift the pan up again in case it comes out hard.
Oh,
as it tends to do. Not a lot more, but you get a little bit more out of the crankcase. Okay, so once you get the plug back on, tighten it up, but don't go crazy tight because it is an aluminum casing generally. So you want to be careful on not going too tight. You also want to inspect your gasket that's around your bolt and make sure it's not cracked or a problem. If it is, I'd replace it for sure. Next, we'll jam a rag down in here the best we can to try to trap any residual oil, and then we'll clean it up after we get the filter off. But we're gonna get the filter off here. You know, a filter wrench and a ratchet's probably a better tool. Some pliers too. I know I made that look easy, but it's not always easy. So you want to get it off, and I try to get it off kind of fast so that most of the oil I can trap inside the filter. And you can see we're getting a little bit of oil down in here, but it looks like we've trapped it all, and they've got a nice little way where they've kind of V'd it down to catch all the oil. So you won't really make much of an oil mess if you get a rag good and underneath it. I noticed my factory one, and it's never been changed. It's a brand new engine. It's a Denso, and it's a little bit bigger filter than the Merc. Not much, but a tiny bit. But this is the factory Merc, and although the Denso came factory on the Merc, so we're still going to go with the Merc. I got it. We're putting a slight ring of oil, just brand new fresh oil, around the gasket itself. It just helps it seat. Don't use grease, use the oil, same oil you're going to put in the engine. Okay, then we're putting a new one on, and it should be generally you want to read it and see what it says, if it's a full turn, half turn, 3/4 to 1 turn. So you want to put it on, and you just keep turning it until you feel it get snug, which basically it's connected. And once it's connected, which I can feel it's connected, we're going to do probably just 1 full turn revolution, 2 3/4. We'll see how it goes. Generally you do this by hand, but if you're doing a wrench, you can damage your filter this style, so you're going to want to try to protect it a little bit. You're going to put the recommended oil in. This one's 1.1 US quart, so get about a quart in, and then you'll put it back on. So just put the motor down and then check the dipstick, and we're going to turn it and make sure that the dipstick is fine on oil.